Hi Flosstube, it's Narissa from Narissa's Stitching Lifestyle in Christchurch, New Zealand. Welcome. This is Flosstube number 64. Today's date is the 29th of November 2025, and this is my Flosstube channel about my cross-stitching journey. First of all, I would like to say thank you to everybody for your lovely messages in the last Flosstube. My hand is getting better. It is still a little bit red and swollen, back on another round of antibiotics, so hopefully won't be much longer and we'll be back to full speed and back to being able to cut fabric at work. It's kind of a bit frustrating not being able to loop my thumb through the scissors and do the cutting motion, so a wee bit hard, but plenty other jobs to do at work. Okay, I have done quite a bit of stitching, surprisingly. I've got a lot to show you, let's say that, but some of it's been like a little bit on these things, some finishing, some fully finishing. As you can see behind me, I've changed my spot because I don't want to give away all of my Christmas decorating yet. That will be coming very, very shortly. I'm almost ready to do my Christmas home tour for this year, but I didn't want to give away all the surprises. So right now we're in front of my tiny little hutch that is in the corner of my living room. I did move my 12 days of Christmas tree that was actually right over here in front of the big bay window, but it was absolutely blocking out all the beautiful sun for summer, so I did move him over to that side, which is just let the sun back in, and the cats are much more happier. They're now not playing with that tree, but they've also got their sunny spot back to lie in. So as you can see, 12 days of Christmas are up on the tree. Behind me in the hutch is a few other little wee ones. I have, oops, I can't remember the name of these guys, but they are from Brenda Gervais. Pattern is not available as such, like I believe, to purchase from stores, but I believe if you're in the US, you can purchase it through her shop. But honestly, my mind is blank and I cannot remember what it is called. If I remember, I'll put it in the description box at the bottom. But lovely little wee set, needle book, hard, just a flat heart. Got something in behind to hold them all up. A pin cushion and another little heart shaped, and then of course the needle book, which has the needles and stuff in it, so that just sits all the time over on my hutch. So I'm just going to pop him back. I have, just don't want to move everything too much because I have it all set up, a set of Annie B's pears, the first ones that came out, the lovely red ones, all completed, and they're in my hutch as well. You'll see these when I take photos, when I film. So Christmas wise, we do have Merry Christmas from Stacey Nash. I stitched this a couple of years ago. I don't think I put nope, I didn't put a date into it, but love this little wee cushion. It works perfect in here. And of course my one from last time, the mouse one, and that was another Brenda Gervais, and finished onto the tartan. Love that. That's in there, and just a few other little wee ones, which honestly I will go through when I do my home display. But I just wanted to explain why I've changed the background on yours. Because yeah, I can't give away everything at once. Okay, should we get on with it? Right, so read through today. I've had a finish. I'm so excited. Louisa Coulimore from Hands Across the Sea Samplers. Been stitching this one as a red thread a day with a stitch along with my friends Lee from Creative Lee here on Flosstube, and from Judith, and they're both going off to a stitching meetup today and taking their Louisas to work on because they're not quite finished. They're both getting very close. So it'll be interesting to see because we've all done them on different counts and different colour and types of threads. So it'll be interesting to put them all together, which will be happening later in the year. Not this year, early next year, sorry, in March. So here is my Louisa. Now she is on 56 count, just a cream Zweiger. Just went for the nice plain because I wanted her to stand out. And I have used a Verissoir 103 silk threads in colour number 648. And this is all I have left. So it did take just over a spool. I'm going to say that because I started using another spool before I then went into this one. But I do love how Louisa has come out. So what did I have to finish? What did I have to finish? My goodness. I think I had to finish this part here. I know I had to put the name in, which I put my name in. And there was one other little part. No, actually, I think that might have been it. Or maybe it was that one. I think that was it. But she's done anyway. So, when I did my name, did I put the year in it? Yes, I did. I also put the year in it. My name, I used the N, and then the O, and the B. Did I use the B from here? No. So the N and the O are from the sampler. And then the rest of the letters of my name, so B-R-I-E-N, I pulled out my Brenda Key's, the Sampler Company's Ultimate Sampler Motifs Resource Book. And I used one of the alphabets for those little letters in there. Only because I needed to fit it into the space. And I wanted something that was still curvy like the rest of the letters. And I think I got it okay. I'm really pleased with it. So the only other personalization I did on this is in this one here. You will see 2025. In the sampler, there's nothing in this gap. So it was the perfect one to put the year that I finished it. And I did it 1/1. Just to get it to fit in there. I didn't want it to stand out too much. But she's all in there. So I love that. So Louisa is now ready for framing as well. Needs a good iron. But her and Harriet will be waiting for Mary. Because I know it's going to cost me a fortune. And if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do all three in the same frame. And I don't want to frame two, and then when you go back, that you can't get the same frame or the same timber. Sorry, I've got a piece here. It's just annoying me. Can't get the same frame, so I don't want to have that happen. So I am going to wait so I can kind of go ping, ping, ping with all three. So that was my sampler finish. Love it. Absolutely love it. So, alright, so then with Louisa having been finished, I needed to pull out something else to work on for my red thread a day. Sorry, I just don't want to get threads and projects muddled up. So I had mentioned last time I was going to pull out Maria, is it Vincenza Lariccha? I think that's correctly pronounced. 1837 from Hands Across the Sea Samplers. Now she's the big long girl. She's gorgeous. She's wider than she is tall. I started this, oh my gosh, a couple of years ago. So it is time she was finished, and I thought perfect. Because I'm not starting Mary 395 until January the 1st. So if anybody wants to join in for a thread a day or a couple of threads a day, Merry January the 1st. You're more than welcome to join me. I will be posting on Instagram, hopefully daily. I will remember to post daily. That is my aim for next year. So there we go. That's what Maria looks like. I am stitching her using Silks for You PB034, which is a lovely burgundy red. Can you tell I like burgundy red? I do. I love burgundies. Okay, so we want to see Maria, don't we? So Maria is being stitched on antique lace, 46 count, from number 12 Stitch Co. Here is the details of the color, the fabric. Right, so it does have a greeny hue, and I love that with the red. And if we come back, I just don't want to land in a tree. Here is the whole piece. So I've managed to find a board. I cut a gigantic one down to fit this, so we will have this one for displaying while we're stitching. Okay, so what did I work on? I stitched in these two birds, so this motif here, and I've done the V and the vase, bottom of the vase here, and that's been my stitching for my red thread. So it doesn't look like much, but there's I haven't stitched every morning, not on this anyway, because I'm also trying to finish ornaments. So I'm really pleased with Maria, and I look forward to getting quite a wee bit of this done. I'm undecided whether I'm going to pop her down for a second. I'm still not sure whether I'm going, this is the one I'm working on right now. Am I going to come down and do this, or am I going to jump in and get some alphabet done? Because I don't want to be doing a lot of this alphabet when I'm also doing Maria and her alphabets. So I'm just not sure. I haven't decided yet. I've got a few days or a day and a bit to finish that kind of motif probably. And then I will make my mind up what I'm going to do. There we go. There's my red thread a day. So we've only got basically a month anyway to work on Maria for everyday stitching. So maybe doing the alphabet will get more progress. Okay, so I pulled out 2 other samplers to work on. And we will start with Queen of the May for 2018 Sarah Brazier. Now this is one of my samplers that is my goal to finish for this year. And I just love this. I loved it from the minute it was brought out. And back then they were limited edition and it sold really quick, but I did manage to pick one up on secondhand market, which was really nice. I am stitching mine on 56 count white, and I am using DMC threads. And these are all the beautiful colours. There's still quite a bit of thread left, which is nice. Okay, here is the full picture of where Sarah is at. Excuse me. Okay, and I worked up here and down here and on some of this. So I basically, because the stitching was a little bit, this was basically last week. I haven't stitched on Sarah this week. Satin stitch was quite nice and quite comfy for the hand, so I made sure I did satin stitch. But because the colours kind of go on both sides, I brought this one down to line up with what I needed for this colour. So that's there. And then I would jump across both aisles. It kind of made sense rather than going down one and then the other one. And if the colour was used in any of my motifs here, I stitched it. So there's a lot of actual stitching in there, but of course, you know, when it's tiny, it takes a wee bit to get it all in. But do love how Sarah is coming along. I love all my projects, as you guys all know. So we're slowly getting there. I'd like to carry on working down this column. I know I do need to jump in. I've missed the 2 butterflies here on this side. I don't know how, but thank you to the viewer that did pick those up. I'm still remember I have to go back and do them. And I really want to finish this part so that I'm only concentrating on this bottom section surely. So that's my goal. And because I'm only doing my red thread and 1, 2, 3 samplers at the moment, they're getting more days or more evenings to be worked on. So it means that hopefully, I mean, I've only got a month to get them finished for my goal that I wanted for the end of the year. Okay, so I'm going to grab the last one that I've worked on. Okay, so my last sampler I worked on was Maria and Diaper, 1829, another Hands Across the Sea sampler. This is the one that I hand dyed myself with tans and pinks. I wanted it to just beautiful. Stitching on 36 count with DMC thread. And here is Maria. So I got quite a bit of progress on Maria as well. So I worked on this side. It's easier to come around this way. Okay. So this time round, I was not up for handwork for the 1/1, so I've left that. We will come back to the words, but I worked on, I had this flower half done. This one was done, so I carried on down once I finished the half one, and I put in all of the orange flowers right down and around here, and I run out of stems. I need to put stems in. I went back up and picked the next colour, which was the blue. So 1, 2, 3, and you can see about 10 stitches in there on the 4th one. So there's still 1, 2 to go there, and I think that's a blue one that goes there. And then I've got the pink flowers to put in on that side. So ideally, if possible, before next filming, I would like to get the border finished. That's a lot of stitching though, and we'll see. We'll just keep working away. A month to get it done, which for me seems like a long time, but with crazy busy Christmas, as we know, it can sometimes, suddenly the day's gone. Okay, so I'm just going to show you her threads, because she is a DMC as well. I love working with DMC. I love working with the silks, but I love working with the DMC as well. The colours are just so saturated and so beautiful. Here we go. Love it. So yes, Maria is getting closer to the goal, which is wonderful. Okay, so that is all of my sampler stitching. I'm now going to show you some of my Christmas fully finishes that I achieved. Some finishing was a lot easier on the hand than trying to stitch, because a lot of my ornaments are on 40 count, 36 and 40 and 46. Majority of them are, I do some big ones, but easier to finish. Waffling, sorry. Okay, so I'm going to show you some of these. I'm going to have to pull off the trees, so I'm going to, you're not probably going to notice so much, but I'm going to stop start for me. Okay, right, one moment please. Okay, I'm back and I'm ready for the sampler fully, for the Christmas fully finished ornament ones that I finished in the last 2 weeks. Okay, so Prairie Schooler Centre, this year's 2025, and yes, it is all crinkled. One of the cats took my bag for a little bit of a travel, leading up from one end of the lounge to the other, and unfortunately it got a little bit damaged. Still stitchable, still can see it. Okay, so here is my Prairie Schooler Santa 2025. He's fully finished. He is stitched on 18 count Ada that I dyed myself right back when I started stitching the Prairie Schooler Santas. I just dyed a yard and a half of 18 count fabric, and I think I've got enough for maybe another couple. We're getting down to the end of it, and then they'll have to come in on something. I'll have to dye something else very similar if they keep coming. So 2025 Yellow Santa. All of mine are made into cushions. They are backed with red tucking fabric to love, and on the back of each one I put the year, just on a I use the, you know, label, iron-on label one that you can write on, and then you just iron it on for your clothing, kids clothing, elderly clothing for retirement homes, those kind of things. And I put it on the back, that way I always know what year the Santa was. Stitched with the DMC threads. They're all finished with a very simple ribbon and a button holding the ribbon on the top, and they hang beautifully on my tree. So there we go, this year's Prairie Schooler Santa, all finished and completed. He's been finished being stitched for a long time, and I procrastinated getting on the sewing machine and sewing him up, but done now. I love him. Okay, so that's one finish. My next finish that I'd like to show you was from Jingle Ball 2022's ornament book. So I don't believe this is available anymore, and I don't think it's been released. But if you have the book and you haven't stitched it yet, why are you waiting? It's gorgeous. So Jingle All the Way, and this was from Beth Twist, heartstring samplery. And Beth, I loved this, loved stitching it. I finished mine slightly, still on the round, but I did do it slightly different. Now this is stitched on Aztec red, and I just used DMC that I wanted to use, so I used black. I picked 2 golds, and I picked a green, which I think was actually 501 because I wanted it to look older. I then finished it with just beads around the outside, just laced and then couched on, and a little bead trim. And that was my choice, the green. I'd already chosen the backing fabric before I even stitched it. I knew exactly what piece I wanted to use on the back of this one. So there we go. There's Jingle All the Way from Heartstring Samplery. It was a beautiful ornament. And I've been enjoying going back through my Jingle Ball books. Like, I've stitched a couple out of them, but your tastes will not change. I guess they do change, but you kind of start to think about, you look at things differently a few years down the track to what you did. And I will always buy that ornament book. It's a bit like the Just Cross Stitch ornament books. I'll always buy those. And I'm only stitched 1 or 2 things out of them that year. But when you go back to later on, you always find something that suddenly, oh, I really like that, and I want to stitch it. So, yeah, I might need to slow down. Another one I have stitched, which swap those 2 over, which was from Jingle Ball 2022 ornament book. And this one was Jingle All the Way from Linda Stoltz for Erica Michael Designs. There's a lovely Linda there. Now I finished mine slightly differently. Hers is like in an oval, and I did mine into a square pillow, 40 count, and using DMC threads. I think, yes, called for DMC threads, just looking at the colours. And made my own cording, and I love how this turned out. So it's cute, just a sweet, and as you can see, fits in the palm of my hand. This was the backing fabric I used. It's just a sweet little wee ornament. Sometimes you need the tiny wee ones just to fill those gaps. Well, I'm finding I do anyway. Sorry, I am just going to bob down because I'm going to run out of space here. Okay, so that was the last of like my Jingle Ball fully finishing at the moment. Okay, next one I fully finished was the peace ornament from Teresa Kogat. This was one of her Patreon ornaments back in 2022. Seems to be the year for it, doesn't it? And I love him. He's so gorgeous, and he came out so beautiful. He is stitched on 20 count using DMC threads. And oh, I love him. He's just gorgeous. Go. There is my peace bird. Isn't that wonderful? So I made the cording myself, and I used these 2 shades of green in it, and I used one of the greens and the red, and did that for my cording. And on the back, this lovely little wee one here, which has the green and the red in it as well, and I thought it just worked beautifully with it. And a bit of fun, because you know, on the tree you occasionally see that little bit of the back of the pillow. So there we go, peace. I do have all of these in photos up on my Instagram as well, if anybody wants to have a closer look. Okay, so 2 more older ones that I'd finished stitching but not actually completed making into ornaments that I have now. We're from Little House Needleworks, the samplery ornament series. I have the series. I think I'm missing one. I must order it. But they're gorgeous. So here is the first one. It is called Christmas in the Country. And this is what it looks like. And they finished it as a pillow. I didn't finish mine as a little pillow. I stitched mine on 40 count, so they're quite small. But then for an ornament, they're a good size. DMC threads, and here is my ornament. Isn't she beautiful? I do not remember the fabric other than the fact that it was 40 count. It's one that I've obviously dyed. I have a big plastic container, probably about yay big, about that deep, and it's just full of scraps. And I mean, right down to, we'll work in a button to fit 2 or 3 ornaments to fit an ornament on. And that's what I raid when I want to do, unless I'm doing a whole series and I need more. So cording, of course, made by myself using the red and green, and I just put holly leaves, or holly ivory, I guess you'd call it, on the back, because I wanted something samplery, older fashioned, but I love that anyway. But here we go. Okay, so its companion that was completely fully finished was called Merry Christmas as well, from Little House Needleworks. I stitched mine on same piece of fabric as the other one, so 40 count. It's got cat hair on it. And I finished mine into flat ornament using the same backing fabric, the same cording that I made, and here is my stitched piece. Gorgeous, just a beautiful red house the ivory arch and the trees, and just the With Me Christmas is just simple, elegant, classic. Love it. There we go. Little House Needleworks. So that's 2 from that series, completely fully finished. I've got more that I've got in my plans to be stitching. Okay, I'm just going to pause and I'm going to grab the next round. Okay, so we're back with the next ones. And the next ones that I had most of these fully finished last year were the Oh Christmas Tree ornaments from Prairie Schooler, and it is book number 183. There is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9 altogether. So I've stitched mine on 40 count using DMC threads, and I finished mine into ornaments, and I actually have them on tutus. So I'm going to show you the first 5, which are on my trees that you can't see yet. So there's the ski jumper, finished in a triangle shape, so it's right. And I put the little hook into them because I wanted these further in. Yeah, I don't want them all just with cord or all with ribbon. I've got quite a few that I did last year and have started doing with putting the hook in. Just especially some of those that you want closer to the branch, it helps give more space around them, I guess. I can also put them into a tighter gap rather than having to a big long gap. And they're all finished with the red with gold star Christmas fabric, just a quilting fabric. As you can see, I wasn't thinking when I put the bells on these guys, and they've got white thread at the bottom. It should have been red, but that's okay. It's the back. We don't see it, do we? Not very often anyway. So there we go. There's the ski jumper. We have the beautiful angel. Yes, of course, Santa himself. Always got to have Santa. Okay. And then there are 2 like cabins in the woods, I guess you would say. So we'll hold both of them up at once. And they look gorgeous. And if you knock the tree, you get the ding ding of the bells. It's quite sweet. Okay, so the other 4, sometimes, I don't know, maybe it's just me. I'm stitching away on these ornaments because I love them, right? But I don't kind of register sometimes what I'm stitching, and that probably sounds vague. But it wasn't until I finished all of these and I went to put them on my main Christmas tree that I realised that 4 of them are actually 12 days of Christmas. Seriously. You know? Why? Why did I not pick up on that before? So these 4 are going on the tree behind us. So here we go. We're going to get the right order now, are we? Okay. Partridge. Pear tree, 2 calling birds, 3 French hens. Oh wait. Oh my gosh, now I can't even remember it all. 4 geese. A laying, 5 golden rings. What's the 6th one? 6 calling birds, is it? Oh my gosh, I can't remember it all. Sorry. The dancers. Or maids are milking. Is it? Swans are swimming. Louisa leaping. Pipers piping, and the drums. Gosh, I should have reread the song, shouldn't I? Love it. So, they go on the tree behind me. It's our 12 days of Christmas. And the other ones, Santa will go on one tree, and the other ones will go on the other. So, I've just given you away a little secret. Okay, still got 2 more whole sets to go. Okay. So another one that I finished, fully finished, was called Sweet. It's from Stitching with the Housewives, and it's from the Holidays with the Housewives series. This is how Priscilla and Chelsea finished theirs. The ones in the cups. I have got, I've got the whole series. I just haven't stitched them all. But this one has been waiting for a while to be finished. So I thought I'm going to finish her. She's done on a blue, looks like a 18 count Ada, or 20 count, might be 20 count. Stitched with DMC threads, finished in an oval shape. And she just has the red and white candy cane spots on the back. Love her. So there we go. So can't wait to stitch some more on that series. I'm going to be so busy next year. Alright, so another series that I fully finished was Teresa Kogat's Scented Delivery. Now this was released not last year, 2023, there we go, 2023 Jingle Ball. She released it at Jingle Ball, but also released it to the public at the same time, and I've had them stitched since the end of 2024 and procrastinated on finishing them. Did I want them as cushions? Did I want them as back to just with felt, because they're done on perforated paper and they are stitched with a called for DMC threads. So I actually went with the perforated paper. So here we go. This is number one. There's a little hanger on the back. And they're gorgeous. So they're a little bit fluffy. Just need to trim it, some of the fluff. So mine are finished with black felt and then another little bit, and that's got the hook, because currently these are up on my wall next to my my barn, my Christmas barn, I guess you would call it. Here's the second one. I love how these turned out. And then the third one. So they can go on a tree, they can go anyway, because I can add to that hook if I need to. Add another hook on and make it longer, or I can do what I've done with them, which you will see in my Christmas tour, where and how they're hung. Okay, so the last set is a set from Stitching with the Housewives, and it is a Sassy Strippers series. And this one is the Gingerbread series. Now these, I don't think it has a year on it, Priscilla. 2024 they came out. Now I can't remember if they were part of like Jingle Ball or if they were part of Christmas with them. But I stitched them all. And I finished them. And I finished them differently. I didn't finish them like Priscilla did. I mean, mine are black and white, but I'm sure you guys have all seen them. And they're beautiful. And I do have the little rolling pins, but I've actually used them in a Christmas display slightly differently. I didn't end up putting them on here because I stitched mine on smaller fabric. Mine is stitched on 36 black, and I finished them on a product that I had collected a few years ago. They are available through Spotlight if you're in New Zealand or New Zealand or Australia, sorry. And I am sure they somewhere in America will have these. Someone did ask me the measurements. 4 inches for the stitch piece, so the roll piece, and 8 inches for the whole unit. And here you go. I put mine onto rolling pins. So this one in the basket is called, he is called Gingerbread Stack. and they fit perfectly just on the front. They are glued down, they are permanent. I put a lining on the back of them, and the glue is on the lining, but they are literally glued onto the ornament, because when they're in the tree, this is what you see. And yes, they are in my tree. I love it. Okay, so that one is gingerbread stack. Sugar and spice was the bonus ornament, and that's this one here. Gorgeous. Love it. Love how they turned out. Okay, what's the other one? Where's she? This one is called Baking Gingerbread, and he is so gorgeous. I mean, they're lovely as a you know, rectangle shape and that, but I wanted something completely different. I was looking for something else for finishing, and I came across these, and I had enough, and it worked with that size fabric, so I had to do it. So there you go. There is Baking Gingerbread. Okay. And we have Gingerbread Girl. There she is. And Gingerbread Boy. So 5 new gingerbread ornaments in that series. Love them. Absolutely love them. I had so much fun, not just stitching them, but coming up with the finishing idea. And I love how they turned out. I'm so pleased with them. Okay, that is all of my fully finishes, but I do have some other Christmas stitching to show you. Okay, so that stuff's all away, and now I'm going to show you my Christmas whips. Oh, one more finished one. Completely forgot about her. And she is my Believe ornament. Now this was from Kelsyns Crafts, or Kelsyns Christmas cones. I think it's Kelsyns Crafts. I love her. She's supposed to be a in a tree shape, but I didn't want to do that. But I loved the font of the wording and stuff, and I wanted her in a round, simple red fabric. And I just did silver and sparkly silver cording. Sorry, excuse me. But she doesn't hang over where the others all were. She's in a different place. And I completely forgot about her. So she is my last fully finished ornament. Okay, carry on. Rightio, so ornaments I have been stitching on are the, I guess you'd call them red stockings. I guess they're the little stockings from JBW Designs. These two here. So a Danish stocking and a Bristol stocking. I finished last year the stitching. So if we turn that over, there is one. These are stitched on a scrap of 40 count. I honestly do not remember what it was. I may have it written down somewhere. And there's the second one. Okay, so this time round, I have been working on Enchanted Village stocking. Okay, so I need less glare on it. And here it is here. I am stitching them with DMC 3831. And here we go. I'm doing them all in the same colour because I want them all as a series. So I hadn't started this one, and this one is another one of those couple of threads. So sometimes my one thread a day has been on this, and sometimes it's been on another ornament as well as on Maria, because I want to get these done. I love that. We are about halfway through that roof. There is the roof of the house here. Then we've only got the little trees this side, and then there's not, you know, there's still a bit of stitching in this piece, but the two bigger rows will then be finished, and then the little part of the stocking. So there's that one I'm working on, and then I will work on a Quaker stocking, and I also have a Stitches stocking to stitch as well, and I have the I didn't pull them out, a sampler stocking and a sampler stocking 2, I believe it is. There's 2 others in that series. So I have those currently in my work pile, all being worked on. Another one I'm working on is Letters for Santa from Brenda Gervais. Love this, it's gorgeous. So mine is being stitched on, it is a scrap of 56, I'm sure it's, might be 46, it's either 56 or 46, I can't remember. I know I've got it written in my notebook, sorry, I didn't think to look. And that's where I am at this stage. Last time I showed it, I had like up to the down to the belt done. I didn't have his gloves done, I filled in his face. Come across, did as a finished Santa. Is a reindeer there, and starting another reindeer, nope, starting the snowman here. Here is the snowman. It says there's the buttons. But I haven't decided on my white or cream that I want to use for my snowman. Tree. And there's not much more. There's another deer that comes out this side. B and C go along here, and then it comes down. So I've done it on a small count, or a large count, small stitches, because I actually want it as an ornament. Fingers crossed. If not, I will do it as an ornament, and then I'll do it again as a bigger cushion, because it's gorgeous as the cushion as well. Okay, so I'm using DMC threads. I'm just kind of picking colours I want to make it work. Oh, here's the one that was the cone series. Kelsyns is what it's called. That's my Believe one. Sorry, clear. That's it. That's it there. And instead of that, I didn't do it all and turned it into, as you know, my beautiful round. Okay, so that is what is on my stitching ornaments. The other ones I'm working on currently is, and I haven't picked these up, so I really need to get going on these because I did want to finish this year, but probably not going to have it. Santa's 12 Days of Christmas, Prairie Schooler. I'm working currently on day 6. Yeah, day 6, and I haven't picked this up, but I wanted to put it in here because it is part of my Christmas whips. As you can see, all the thread where I was at. So 5 is completed, 5 and less are completed, so day 6. So we're almost halfway, and that will probably end up being where I'll get, I think, because I've got others that I want to stitch and fully finish at this stage. And that's fine. You know, we have 4 sets of 12 Days of Christmas on the tree already. That would be set 5. I have set 6 is Plum Street Sampler 12 Days of Christmas, which is this set here, and I haven't picked that up again either. That will be done. They're on 36 count. I have done them as the one big long strip, which I showed last year, as a bill pull. Not last year, last time, and I haven't got the other one that I picked up. What did I do with it? Nope, I've put it away because I picked out the other fabric. So that's, what do we say, 4, 5. I have one from Satsuma Street. It's 7 that will be started soon. JBW Designs is ordered and on its way. I have 2 sets at Art and Frames. That's 9, 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And oh my gosh, who was it from? Can't remember, but I have about 13 sets for 12 Days of Christmas that I'm going to stitch. It's going to fill up this big 7-foot tree. I know, I have a problem, but I'm okay with it. All right, my other one. Oh, I wonder if I popped it in this one. No, I didn't. It is definitely, I put away the ones I hadn't actually started stitching because, seriously, I need to. All right, so I have been working on the berry series from Erica Michaels. I'm not stitching them as the berries. I am stitching them as the cushions, but I'm doing them in the red. This is on a piece of salted caramel 40 count from number 12 Stitch Co. It is literally, that's the wide the strip is, the bottom of, I can't think what size did I order, a fat half that I'd done a sampler on, and I just cut it out and had the strip and strip upside, so perfect for ornaments. So there we go. I'm almost there. In Excelsius, in 1/1 is what I've got left to do, which is just in here. And there's a star motif in the O and musical note. So musical notes there, go on this side, a star in here, and then in Excelsius. And then that one will be finished. And then I'll pick one of the others in the series and keep working on that. Ideally, I'd like to get a couple more of these done this year. And that, my friends, is all that I have been stitching on this time round. I do have, I am looking so forward to Jingle Ball. Can't wait. I have friends coming over. We're going to, they get to see all my Christmas before you guys do. That's why I've got to get it all finished. They, we'll be zooming with our friends in Wellington. Can't wait to catch up with you ladies either. It'll be great fun. I'm going to be in a couple of stitchy chat rooms, table rooms, stitching table rooms. I'm definitely going to be doing that this year. Got the microphone sorted out. Last year we had issues and I could hear everybody but they couldn't hear me, so that was a bit of a shame. So do that. I think Sarah and I are going to do some of the speed dating. I have a couple of classes that I've got pre-stitching for, and I really need to pull finger. We'll see how far we get. Not worried about that so much, but we'll see if I can get part of it done. I'll get part of it done. If not, I love watching the finishing classes. And can't wait for all the fun that the designers have got up to see all their new products. It's always an exciting time, especially when you're a Christmas fanatic or nut like I am. And saying that, I must admit, I text my friends the other day, and you guys will all be laughing hearing this. And I text them and I went, oh no, I've run out of room. And I had literally run out of room to put all of my finished stitching ornaments up. I had to go and buy a couple of trees. So 12 Days of Christmas was on a tiny little 6-foot tree. It got moved to the big 7.5 because I know all the other ornaments are coming and I wanted to make sure everything was going to work. And that's too big to go in my bedroom. Let's just say that. 7.5 foot is too big to go in the bedroom. So 6 foot went in the bedroom. That's got stitched ornaments on it. Made room for all of these guys to go on here. Did some other juggling and moved some other ornaments around. So yeah, I ended up buying 2 second-hand trees and nothing wrong with them. One was missing bolts, cost me $5 to get new bolts. Whoop-de-doo. But that beat going and paying $200 for a new tree this year. Just couldn't afford to do that. So no, I shouldn't be stitching any more ornaments, but I'm not going to stop. I love stitching ornaments. I love stitching my samplers. You guys all know that. And I'm running out of, you know, everyone says I'm running out of wall space. I've still got plenty of wall space, don't worry. I will make room. I will make room. And the same with my Christmas stitching. I will make room. I do have just bent over and got the box. This is still all the already stitched, already paired out with fabrics, need to be finished, fully finished. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over in the little, I have a little tray, which I'll show you. This is my little tray of like finishing, what I'm currently finishing on. Can't show you those are gifties. But this is what's currently on my finishing immediate radar. I'm just going to show you anyway. Working on that one, as you can see, string threads. There's a few there, there's a couple others underneath. So this is what sits at on the couch with me. I work for about an hour on a finishing, so sometimes you get 1 or 2 done, or you get, you know, all the lacing done, and then I might put it aside and do all the cording and all the sewing of the cordings on at the end of 1 week. So there's still a wee bit to go, and hopefully this time I'm going to have enough room for where those Christmas ornaments will fit. But you guys will see all of those in my home tour. So hopefully that will be, yeah, I was hoping for this week coming, but it may end up not being that. Depends on where I get with the finishing, or you might get what I've got currently, and then I'll just add in the other ornaments, which will be surprises for next year. And we'll go from there. So, do you want to see what I'm going to do for Jingle Ball? Shall we show you? This is where we went and got that. Do you know why? Because I forgot one of my whips. Oops. One of my whips that was sitting over there was the samplery from Teresa Koga, which was part of Jingle Ball's ornament book last year. So if you bought the ornament book from Jingle Ball, you already have this pattern. Remember, you already have this pattern. So I haven't stitched on him this fortnight. He is on 40 count. Isn't he gorgeous? So he will be coming out this week, definitely to be worked on. I mean, I have a lot to do, but we will get through to him. Just making sure there's nothing. Oh, and Merry Christmas from Elfhurst Embroidery, which was these guys here. And I haven't picked them up this fortnight either. So they haven't made any more progress. But they are still in my current Christmas whip pile. My new Christmas editions, shall we say. Jingle Ball pairs from Annie B's. Love them. I am actually going to be stitching them twice. Because that's me, you know that. I did start this fabric. I dyed myself. It's very, very similar to the Aztec Red. And these will be the pairs themselves. So I'm starting with Joy. And as you can see, I haven't got very far. It's still in the hoop because I wanted it with my hand. I needed it. The second set will be stitched on Red Rose 40 count. And they're going to be made into ornaments. Love this. Love the red of this. And that will work beautifully on my tree. So I do need to do, I want to finish one so I can do the finishing class. I know I've made other pairs, but I want to be able to do Annie's hints and tips. So I do need to get that done. I still have, so all of this, I should have dropped, oh great, that was good. So my friend Claire made me this project folder last year for my birthday. And in it is beautiful. And she knows I'm a cat lover. She knows I'm my beautiful babies. And I basically have my Jingle Ball stitching kind of goes in here, so it gets quite full. But I've put my new Jingle Balls in here at the moment. So I'm still working on the gingerbread house from last year, like literally. I'll show you, it's so embarrassing, guys. Like, that's my stitching. Not good, eh? It's okay. It's okay. Plenty of time. She needs to be worked on. And my friend Sarah and I both bought the gingerbread man. Now I'm still having a debate with myself, of course, on what fabric I'm going to stitch them on. Two total different, aren't they? Pinky ginger or orangey ginger? I haven't decided. I need to pull the threads. But once again, might be a needlebook and an ornament. Haven't decided. So that's what's in this photo. Literally have not stitched anything on them. But that's whoops. And I've still got a couple of secret gift stitching to finish as well. Busy girl. So yes, that's why I'm concentrating only on 4 samplers. My 3 that I want finished for the year, and my red thread a day, and then my stack of Christmas ornaments for this year. So after all of that, 1 stitch at a time, we'll get our samplers stitched. 1 stitch at a time, we'll get our ornaments done, which will sit beautifully on our Christmas trees. Can't wait to have them done. I love seeing them all out at I'm looking now at my house. You guys are only seeing a tiny snippet at my house, and it brings me excitement and joy. And I had my granddaughter on Monday, hence I didn't get to film on Monday. Had her on Monday, and she was so excited. She hunts through finding her ornaments. These stitched ornaments that are hers. She wanted to know who one from this year was, and of course we haven't finished him, but she really likes the gingerbread man, so I think I'm going to stitch him for an ornament for her. She hasn't watched, I don't think she watches my Flosstube, put it this way. So she helped me decorate, and then of course I had to strip the trees down and redecorate because the bottoms were very full. Not anywhere else, but the bottoms were full. So she's requested a few things. She's gone through an ornament book and found some things she likes, so now we'll have to get stitching on those to add to her Christmas. But other than that, guys, happy stitching, happy holiday season, happy Thanksgiving to my American friends and followers. Hope you guys have had a great weekend or are having a great weekend for Thanksgiving. Stay warm. I believe over there it's a little bit cold. Over here we have been the other day 32 degrees Celsius, which I don't even know what that is in Fahrenheit, but my gosh, it was hot. And we've had a couple of days like that. Yesterday was hot as well. And today I'm off to work in about an hour. And today is, don't think going to be any cooler, and it's going to be crazy busy because, you know, it's less than a month now to Christmas. They've got 3 weekends to get shopping, so it's going to be busy at work. So happy stitching, everybody, and we'll see you next time or on the house tour. Thank you. Bye.